Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Dan Tremblay Music. Today we're talking about, hopefully I'm going to be able to answer the question, can I make money with music, with my music? It's the age-old question. We've been asking this question for years. I think it's probably gotten harder and harder, especially in light of the ongoing and just never-ending pandemic. As I do this video, our province of Ontario in Canada is starting another 4-week lockdown. Just when we thought we were rounding the corner of this thing, the numbers are up, COVID, and it just keeps going. But there's light at the end of the tunnel. Vaccines are coming. They're ramping up, and hope is on the horizon. So that being said, can I make a career? Can you make a career in music in 2021? Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to answer that question, but I am going to share with you the 5 best ways, I think, of making income as a musician. So let's get right to it. Okay, so rounding out number 1, I think probably for most of us it's still going to be the best, the most fruitful, the most reliable is education. Okay, so what do I mean by education? Well, it could be giving private in-person lessons, or because of COVID, maybe online lessons on your instrument or instruments of choice. You could be providing instructions to do with composition, to do with music production, to do with audio engineering. Any knowledge that you have accumulated over the years that you feel comfortable talking about, instruct. Okay, I don't know where you live, but where I live, music in schools is few and far between. So there's a huge gap that musicians can take advantage of. Private one-on-one music instruction that I do either in person, or because of COVID, I've been doing it online. There's tools like Internet MIDI that will help facilitate, which I've talked about in previous videos. A couple of videos ago, I talked about Music for Young Children. Great program for kids. There is always going to be money in education. People are always going to want to pay for really good content. And it doesn't have to be in person, or online or one-on-one. It could be creating a course, creating an online course. That's something I plan to work on over the coming months in the summer. Getting together a couple of courses of things that I feel really confident in instructing. And then that course is available and you can sell it all the time. These online courses are a huge deal right now. And they're going to keep being a huge deal because they're great. You can watch them anytime you want, from any device that you want. And the content, if you get a really good one, it's just fantastic. So education, probably number 1, I'd say, in my books. Number 2, this one's a little tricky because I'm going to say live performance. And you're saying, but Dan, there's no live performance going on right now. And I get it. Just when you think we're about to open again and live performance is going to happen, it doesn't happen. And COVID is just going to keep going. It's just going to be challenging for months and months and months. It's going to be taking months, maybe even years, for the live performance venues to get back on track. It's just going to take a long time. But when it does, there is going to be a huge thirst for it. People are going to be dying for live entertainment. In the meantime, I've been talking a whole lot about Twitch, and all of my eggs are in the Twitch basket right now. I'm going for it, streaming 3 times a week. I've been hanging out in streams. It's fun. I'm still, every time I'm in a stream, I can't get over the fact that I'm being a part of a group of people that's listening to an artist performing live from their house from across the world. You know, Kate McGill, gotta check out Kate McGill. Okay, we love Kate McGill on Twitch. I'll link her in the description below. I think I've talked about her in one of my previous videos. Great singer, plays guitar, piano, writes her own songs. Just super chill Twitch stream. Just enjoying it so much. It's so fun. It's so fun to be a part of. So I am all in to Twitch, all for Twitch. I think there is real money to be made in Twitch, and not just in terms of monetary, gains, financial gains, but in terms of increasing your fan base, getting those numbers up, getting those follower numbers up so that you can maybe look at selling other stuff, which is going to be further down my list. So live streaming to me, I've talked about in the past, even when live performance venues open again, live streaming is here to stay. Why? Because it's fun. It's just lots of fun. Just come check it out. Sit in on a couple of streams. My favorite streamers right now are Kate McGill, which I try to watch every time she's streaming. She's fantastic. Leon Brad, I've talked a whole lot about. Dude is a rock star. And very, very different streams. So Kate McGill on one hand is very just for chilled and relaxed vibe, which I love. Leon's is more like the guy's he's just full of so much energy. The dude is just go really high energy. So it's a different vibe. So it depends on the mood that you're looking for or the mood that you're in. And then most recently, I've checked out Orto Pilot. I hope I'm saying this right. ORTO Pilot. I don't even need to tell you. You guys know who he is. The dude has a massive following. I thought I was a good live looper until I sat in on one of this guy's streams, and man, the guy is incredible. Like the setup, I saw him do. He did. Maybe it was on YouTube. He did Virtual Insanity by Jamiroquai. Wow. Just like mind-blowing looping, one of the best looping artists I think I've ever seen. And I've seen some great ones. I've talked about Rico Loop. I've talked about Reinhard Björn. Hopefully I'm saying these names right. And this guy is right up there, man. Orto Pilot. So check these artists out on Twitch. They are awesome, and it's just fun. So live streaming is here to stay. I think it's fantastic. Even when live performance venues open up, it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. There is money to be made, and I think that they're really Twitch is really pushing the musical element. So I'm all chips in. Check me out on Twitch. Coming in at number 3, music licensing. What is music licensing? It is selling the rights to your music. So you still retain ownership of the music, but you're basically granting somebody else a permission, either an individual or business, to use your music in whatever content they're creating. There is still a lot of money to be made in music licensing. Has it gotten harder to make money in music licensing? Probably, because there's so many sites, there's so many people doing it. Many companies are switching to a subscription-based model. So, the piece of the pie has gotten smaller, but there's still lots of people doing it. There's lots of people, it might be a good side hustle, So Daniel Carrizales from Stock Music Licensing, I think is the name of his site. I can link it in the description below. There's a couple of YouTube channels that I follow that are very, very tons of great information on music licensing. So I'll link it in the description below, and you can check it out. Stock Musician, I think is the other guy. Eric, I think is his name. Could be getting it wrong. And tons of great information. Good channels. Check it out. So music licensing, still money to be made. It's just gotten harder. So you really got to work for it. It could be in the past, you could just upload your content into a cloud and just hope for the best, and it gets out there and gets a license and makes tons of money. And I think you got to push it really hard now. And there's got to be some heavy promotion on your end to really make it rise from the masses. Number 4, coming at number 4, I got myself a little list here so I don't forget anything. Number 4 is producing. if you've always felt like you've got, you've written some songs, or you hear other artists and you're like, you hear some potential. You're like, yeah, I'd like to hear that artist sing my song, or they do a particular song and you're like, I like the song, but they didn't quite nail the production of it. You could be a producer. Artists are always looking for other artists to collaborate with. And so, little side hustle, producing other people's music. It could be a younger generation coming up who doesn't really know the ins and outs of arranging and writing and mixing. You can get in there and help them out. So when I say production, you can also maybe throw mixing in there, mixing other people's work. And you say, well, but Dan, I don't have a super fancy $100,000 studio. Dude, those days are over, man. Those days are over. Big fancy studios. I'm sorry if you guys got big fancy studios out there. Those days of spending tons and tons of cash and taking to big name studios, get it mixed, it's over, man. Graham Cochran called it, recording revolution. It has happened. And, software is so sophisticated these days with Ableton and Logic and Pro Tools and great mics and what you're able to do, even on GarageBand. I have a student who's doing mixing and writing on a GarageBand on her iPad, and it's sounding pretty darn good for an iPad. So things have come around, things have changed, revolution has happened. So what makes you, a good mixer or a producer? Well, get somebody's work, get them to send you some stems, send you some files, mix it down, add some stuff, add some elements, and send it back to them. And chances are their eyes are going to light up and be like, wow, never thought that. So I would love to produce other people's music, other artists. And I'd love to write for them too. I got some songs kicking around. I'm like, not really something I would release myself, but I'd love to hear other artists sing it. So producing. Also, I'll throw mixing in with that. And rounding out my top 5 is merch. Now, but you're saying, but Dan, I'm a nobody. I don't have a following. When I say that, I'm talking mostly about myself. So I have very, very small following, very new, relatively new to YouTube. Been uploading regularly for 4 months, So I feel like for the first time, I'm kind of just starting to get an audience, online audience. It's going to take years to build up. However, people are always looking for ways to support artists. So you have to give it to them. You have to give them something that they can support you with. What do you want? Well, every artist wants to make money. Okay, but are you providing anything from that for them to purchase? Are CDs still a thing? I'm not sure I would invest in CDs, but USB keys with preloaded music, bobbleheads, whatever, man, keychains, t-shirts, just have them up there. There's tons of online stores that are kind of on demand. So you can have all the designs, everything's ready to go, touch of a button. You just have a link on your website and boom, they take care of all the shipping, send it right to the person. They only manufacture only the amount of things that you need, so you're not sitting on a ton of inventory. So merch might also be in the form of digital assets. So this is where we get to the this NFT business, which we keep hearing about in the media. Are NFTs going to save the music industry? Probably not. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Non-fungible tokens. So what in God's name does that mean? Well, my understanding is that these are digital assets that are protected and prevented from being pirated, if I'm understanding correctly. So the best analogy I found for this was it's like having an original painting that you can sell to one person and you can auction it and make a bunch of money because it's the original. and then you take that same asset and you make a bunch of prints from it, okay? And then you sell the prints. So that to me is the most logical explanation to NFTs and what it's all about. Are they going to be a big money maker for musicians? Well, some musicians have been making a killing off of these things, but they're also household name musicians. So is Jimmy and JoJo and Danny Tremblay going to be making money auction off a bunch of NFTs? Doubtful, man. It's very doubtful. But never say never. Technology evolves rapidly. It's another thing to start looking at, selling digital assets. So it doesn't, when I'm talking about merch, it doesn't have to only be in the physical realm. It can be in the digital realm. I think artists like Tycho have always been kind of on the cutting edge of mirroring or combining film and music and putting it together. So visual and audio combined. And I still think that going forward, that is the way it's going to be. I think immersive kind of 3D audio and visual experiences are going to be the way that music is going to move forward. I could be wrong. NFT is another thing to check out. And if it works, great. But maybe there'll be some kind of offshoot of it that works. So there you go, my friends. Top 5. Education, live performance, either in person or streaming, licensing music, producing or mixing other people's music, and selling merch, either physical or digital. So get out there and do it all, because guess what? There's no one solution to any of this. There's no one thing. Chances are, if you're an artist, you're going to be doing all of these things. All of these things. You're going to get a little bit of income from each one of these different streams. It's not going to just be one thing. You're going to have to really diversify and put on a whole bunch of different hats. So get out there, make music, and do it because you love doing it, because at the end of the day, that's what we do it. Check me out on Twitch. Stay safe. Catch you in the next one.